All right. That should be it right there. Hey, prepare yourself, guys. Chris with T3 Medias. Let me put this thing down because I think that should be happening. You know what? No, let me double check something because I thought that I got it right. I thought that I did everything right the right way, and sometimes stuff happens. So let's just see. There's like a little delay sometimes, and I think I got this little perfect way of starting to show off and whatnot. So I'm gonna try to show off and see if I got it right, if I got it right, right. So I'm a minute in, and the preview of it is not working. So I hit the stop button on it, but I can't tell if it's streaming or if it's not. But I think it is. And let me double check really fast. You know what? I'm just going to click off and go to what you guys see. Yeah, see, the preview of it, I don't know what's going on. The previews don't really work. And that just pisses me off. Let me turn that off. Because otherwise, let me see. Yeah, it's working. So it's just what I could and what I could not hear. But my little preview menu ain't working. So all right, well, prepare yourself, guys. Chris with T3 Medias, and so I only got a few minutes really to go over some stuff. I got a lot of work to do, so I ain't got time to be talking to you all that. Look, I got my ducktails on. I got everything all situated. Later on, there's going to be a lot of We Got Your Mail questions. I'm going to do a We Got Your Mail special one on what's been going on with the Leslie Jones thing. A lot of you guys have been hitting me up on that one. So I appreciate the views. I appreciate the comments, interacting with me. Remember to hit the subscribe button if you want to keep up with all these things that I'm reacting to. And comment every time you comment. I really will respond back to you, especially if you send an email. Send at mail@t3medias.com, and you definitely use the hashtag WGYM, and I will definitely respond back to you and put it on the show. I got one of those messages today, as you will see later on, and we will be answering a viewer's question. But I have a ton of comments, questions, and concerns and your feelings about what's going on with Leslie Jones. So later on, I think you'll see that tomorrow. I'll upload that. I'll record it today. I'll upload it tomorrow. There's another one that I'm going to do as well. There is one for the Netflix movie, 2036 Origin Unknown. For a movie that I was late to the party on, you guys had a lot to say about it. So we're going to do a special We Got Your Mail on that one as well. I think I'll upload that one on the Saturday upload. And then in between the times, I've been working on some stuff behind the scenes. If you follow me on social media, if you've seen my tweet or something on Facebook, you've seen that I've posted some questions out there. I'm gonna use that for the We Got Your Mail platform. If you're a part of a fan group or a movie group that I'm a part of on Facebook, interact with me on that. Answer the damn questions, and I will feature right here live on the show, maybe on the After Dark episodes as well for T3ML. That's Talking to the Medias, or T3 Medias Live After Dark, where hopefully me and Sean, we just be laid back, be late at night, and it'll be a little raunchy. So this is the PG version of it. Okay, I'm gonna try to keep it clean, try to keep it nice, try to make it friendly. But the T3ML AD episode, oh no. Parental guidance, no. This rhythm is rated R, and just be forewarned. That's what we're gonna be doing. Also, there's a interview that's coming up. Hopefully, I'm going to announce it now because I've already put it on social media. Today we were supposed to be recording a live interview with Chelsea Buffington, an actress and model, and I can't wait. I'm also settling up some other interviews as well with other people, and I want to hurry and get that out to you as fast as possible. I'm really excited about a lot of these interviews that I'm booking, but hers especially, because I'm begging, I'm hoping, I'm pleading, I'm trying to convince her. She said yes. She's excited about it, and here's the announcement that she's going to be officially joining the T3 Media's family and contributing her own reviews, sending her out on assignments with our press credentials out there where she's at in New York and New Jersey, and we'll be getting hopefully some reviews and some her thoughts, her ideas, especially as a SAG member and an official actress. Unlike me, I'm just out here playing around, just giving my little fan opinion. She is a fan, a real fan, and also she knows what it takes behind the scenes and during the scenes and on the camera and off the camera and everything like that, and with directors, writers, all of it. She knows a lot about a little and a little about a lot of things, but what we definitely know is she's way more qualified than me. So I'm appreciative of you, Chelsea. If you see this video, I appreciate you taking the time to talk to me, for me to get to know you, and hopefully I'll be able to share what we talk about and your opinions, your thoughts, and the energy that you bring with everybody who follows. And with that out the way, let's get on to the what I wanted to talk about. If you saw the thumbnail, you're probably curious. Got Lady Gaga and Leslie Jones. Are we still on Leslie Jones? Is this still happening? Are we still talking about this? Well, yeah, because I put a video out, and also if you go to T3Medias.com, you'll see a blog post. I also pointed out that a person that I follow, on and off, when I see her video suggested, I click on them. I haven't subscribed officially yet, but she's in the mix because she's a person who I support and whatnot. It's just that I try not to. It depends on when I'll hit that subscribe button. I will become a subscriber. I'm going to do it today. I'm a subscriber. MechRandom42. And I heard what she had to say about the whole Leslie Jones thing, and I wrote a story about it. If you like to read it, go to www.t3medias.com and check it out. Because what she said was a bit out there, the passion of it and everything. But we'll get to that a little bit later. So if you want to read what I wrote, go ahead and go check it out. If you're one of her mega fans that's gonna try to shut me down for my words, bring it on. I'm American. I can freedom of speech. If she can say what she can say, I can say what I can say. And all that stuff. But I know that's not going to stop you because we are trolls and we like to destroy. So that's just the way the game goes. So I'm sorry. I'm sorry that you feel that way. Yes, that's right. I'm apologizing for you. So that's how we do it. Because I'm an asshole. Sorry, I wasn't supposed to curse. Sorry. I feel like I'm from Canada. I feel like a guy from Canada. Sorry. All right. So the first thing I wanted to talk about was Black Panther. You guys have seen the fact that Black Panther has. I did a reaction on this. It's the first. I love talking about this movie. I remember back in the day, like a year or two ago, when I talked about this movie when it was upcoming. This could be the highest budgeted movie with an all-black cast of all time, which it was, and it's the highest grossing one at that, all kinds of records, and it just keeps coming. My boy Eric Jerome Dickey, I think I got one of his books here. You see this right here? Can you see this? Storm, let me move the mic out the way. You see this? My boy Eric Jerome Dickey. This isn't the one that John Campy was talking about, but the whole Storm and Black Panther thing, that's T'Challa. That's T'Challa. This is a Storm book, but that's T'Challa. When they got married, I used to work overseas in Iraq for the military. I was contracting with KBR, with Morale, Warfare, and Recreation. And I came across a guy named Eric Jerome Dickey by chance. He's an author. He writes romance, and now he does a lot of action books as well. And I was like, dude, I feel like your core audience is probably mostly like females, black females, and whatnot. And I feel like an anomaly. I don't know why I like your book so much, dude. And he wrote back. This was before social media, really, man. This was email. He emailed me back and was like, "You would be surprised how many dudes read my books, man. You would be surprised." I said, "I can't figure it out." And we started going back and forth. He told me about himself. He's like, "I'm a comic book dude. I love comic books." And it clicked. That's why. And I did a go search Eric Jerome Dickey on this channel. You'll see what I talked about that whole thing on how I became a fan of Eric Jerome Dickey and the whole thing with Storm and T'Challa and everything. I said, there it is. That's why. There's always a comic book thing inside of all of his books. That's it. That's why. It was killing me why I couldn't figure that out. You know what else is killing me, and whether or not I'm gonna be so paranoid if I find out that this is not doing what it's supposed to do. Let me stop the presses for a quick second, and yeah, there we go. Yeah. So it's just. I'm sorry, man. Like Chappelle said, what's a black man without his paranoia? Keep the headphones on then, Chris. But no, I'm not, because I look good. I like to. Yeah, sorry, I am bald. You guys know that, but I'm wearing my my Aggie deal because I love Stacey Howard, and miss movies too. Breon? Do I say that? Yeah, I've always messed her name up. We collabed once, and she's like corrected me. And she's like, whatever I said, she said it was the opposite. Well, Chris, you were cool until you messed my name up. But okay, back to the topic. So Black Panther was it didn't hit me that this could all happen. And I was talking about this with this man way back in the day, in the early 2000s, and didn't know that we were heading for a situation where Black Panther would be the first comic book movie deserving, in my opinion, to be nominated for an Academy Award. Now, I say deserving for a number of reasons. One, because if you hate and, forget you. I mean, you didn't write the movie, you didn't make the movie, you don't know what it takes to make a movie. So, and if you are a movie maker and you just hate, and you probably are the guy who, did those Rampage trilogies. Anyway, I felt like, and I put this on Twitter, the emotional impact of what these movies do or give the audience should be taken into consideration too. And it was probably the reason why, I don't know how they vote. They push a button, they pull a lever or whatever. It's probably one of the reasons why they voted the way they voted. This movie was not voted for, or is not getting awards for a lot of the categories. It should, a movie that's nominated for Best Film should be nominated for. It's not nominated for any of these things, and it's nominated for Best Film. Jason Rodriguez, what's up, bro? I see you, man. I see your name, man. Yeah. Hey, Jason, let me tell you something. I'm not Jason Rodriguez. Jason Rodriguez, that's the guy. He's in the chat room. He just said, what up, though? Okay, let me tell you what up, though. I'm about to put your business out in the street, bro. Let me tell you. He's the guy. Me and Jason Rodriguez have known each other for about 20 plus years, right? So since we were little kids, around Coral Ridge Lane, up there by Willow Ridge High School, just and we grew up together. His family and my family, and we became roommates when we became adults. We moved out of our parents' house, and we were living together. I don't know who he was. I don't know what it was. It was some tenant that gave him the book suggestion, like Eric Jerome Dickey, the guy who wrote those Black Panther Storm books. And it's like, you want to read a good book, you need to read this. And he was just humoring one of these residents. He was a leasing consultant in an apartment complex that we lived in. And he was like, all right, I'll read it. That book sat on his damn desk for I don't know how long, right? And he wasn't going to read that shit. He was like, okay, I'll read it. Shit, right. You got to pay your damn rent on time. Yeah, he wasn't trying to. But this person was being nice. You want to read a nice book? Here. Read this. And he didn't read it. And I'm going to tell him real quick. Would it allow me to? No. He didn't read it. And it sat on his desk for I don't know how long. And let me tell him real fast that I'm talking about. I don't know if he can see it. He's probably scared about what I'm going to say. Hey, Crispy. Hey, wait. Story time. I'm talking about you. Let me write this out. I'm talking about you. I'm talking about you on the show. You might want to click back on and watch. Oh, there you yeah, he's still there. He's still there. Okay, so you might be worried about what I'm about to say, right? He was like, all right, Chris, wait. You didn't say nothing about story time. So, you know, I mean, because me and Jason, like back then, Jason was like is the number one leaser back there, right? And he's like, I'm watching. He said, yeah, I know what you mean when you say that too. He's like, I'm watching. So the residents, they were nice. You know, they would. This person gave him a book and said, "You want to read a good book? Read this book by Eric Jerome Dickey." And he didn't read that damn book. He tells me he read the book. You did not read that damn book. That book, I saw that book. It sat on your damn desk for weeks, and I was working there part time. And I got so bored one day, I picked this book up. All right, I picked this book up. And Jason, remember, by the way, if you can, I got a thing where you can send questions in to mail@t3medias.com, official questions, or you can send questions right here on the comment section. And for movie-related stuff, or anything. It doesn't just have to be movies, right? So one day I'm sitting in the desk. I'm like, all right, let me read this thing, right? And I read the first couple of pages. There's a sex scene or something, like right there in the beginning, I think. And you know, I'm a 21-year-old dude. I'm like, whoa! And you know, she was doing this and she was doing that. I think the book was called. You know, if you want to prove to me that you read that book, Jason, what was the book called? Involved with no, that was not what the. Yeah. Oh, okay. T3M. Oh, he's commenting what the book was about. For one, you got Google. Two, that was mostly what all Eric Jerome Dickey's books were about. From the first couple of, like the first 10 books were involving a love triangle. You don't get a fucking pass for reading the synopsis in the back. No, you did not read that book. I don't care what you said. We're best friends, but I know you didn't read the book because I love having this over you. I've spoken to Eric Jerome Dickey. He's a dear friend of mine. But you did not read that book. So I read the book. And me and Jerome Dickey, we talked when I went overseas. I said, dude, I don't know why I like your book. He's like, because I'm a comic book guy, and he said I sprinkle a lot of comic book stuff in. I was like, that's it. That was it. That was the reason why. And then when the second he said that, I went back to a number of his other books, and I was like, oh, wow, yeah, there's a lot of comic book references. And then he told me that Marvel hired him to write a story that was going to involve Black Panther and Storm. And I was like, that's amazing, dude. I can't wait to read it someday. And I'm thinking, that's going to be a while before I get back home. I wasn't set for an R&R vacation until a couple of months later. But when I did go home, I went to my comic book store, Bedrock City, and I wasn't even looking for it. I forgot about this whole conversation. Next thing you know, I see it right there on the shelf, plain as day. Bam. Black Panther and Storm. Holy crap, there it was. I picked it up, I bought it, and I told the guy at the counter, I was talking with this guy. You know, me and him, we were friends. He told me about this a couple of months ago. I was like, my guy. And the guy was like, yeah, that'll be $250. Get the fuck out of the line. You know, he didn't care. He was like, just, dude, you can buy it what? It's at a damn library. So I was like, I don't know. I thought that was cool. So, but now moving forward, you know, we got this whole thing with Jason, she creeps up. You pulled the book up right now. So you're Googling it, Jason. You're Googling. You're never going to convince me. You could be telling 100% the truth, but it's fake news. It's fake news, dude. You're Googling right now. It's Googling. Quit Googling. Why are you Googling? Look. And also, Jason, I need you to come on the show one day, man. Me and you need to talk about some stuff, man, and just some funny stuff we need to let the people know one of these days. So answer questions, whatever we want to do. So, Black Panther's chances of winning an Oscar, low. They're low. Does it deserve the nomination? Yes. The impact that this movie had people. You had your core audience. It made $1 billion, and this is why. You had your core audience, your super fans, your Marvel geeks. Marvel movies have become a genre of its own right now, other than just superhero movies. It's like Marvel films, then superhero movies, right? But that's still not. That's enough to get like 500, 400,000, million, right? That's enough for that, right? They hit $1 billion. Why? Because you had people who don't usually go to a superhero movie. You had families that went. You had people who don't go to the movies that much. You had black audiences who were like, I don't even watch these types of films. I don't like actions. I don't like comic book movies. Blah blah blah. Blah. But there was something about this. This is a movement. There's something happening, and you got them to go. They loved it. They told their friends. Word of mouth. People saw it again. And so I think that feeling that Black Panther gave was the consideration of why people voted for it to be nominated. Now, is this a sneaky way to put the whole popular film thing in the Best Picture category, that category that the Oscars tried to make happen, that we was like, and they got rid of? Probably. Maybe that's what this is. Maybe this is maybe 3 out of the 5 or whatever. 3 out of 5. What didn't we say that, Jason? 3 out of 5. 1 out of 5. Maybe 1 out of 5 is a popular movie pick, and the rest are like legit. But I'm not going to say that Black Panther isn't legit. It deserves this because, if not anything, it was a great movie. It did things that no other movie's done before. It not just the money that it made, but the impact that it had on the box office. That cannot be ignored. And that's probably what the people who work in the Academy, who are professionals, hopefully, not just skipping movies. Oh, Tom Hanks, all right, to best actor, and didn't even watch it. I hope that they saw it and that gave them that, that sense of this was a good movie, and they and that's why they voted for it. That probably explains why they didn't vote for it for other things, and probably why they voted for it for this. And I think it's deserving. Will it win? I think the chances are low, but if it does, ooh. And also we'll go on We Got Your Mail, and we'll talk about some other things as well, because I asked the question on the Facebook group chat about what will be the next superhero film, whether it could be from a Marvel or DC. We'll talk about that a little bit later. So the next thing that I want to get off the chest with the Oscar situation is Spike Lee. Spike Lee is being nominated for. I saw BlacKkKlansman when it first came out in the theaters, and I loved that film, dude. And the main actor, I didn't realize that. I know him from The Rock's TV show Ballers. I didn't know that was Denzel Washington's son. Cause I'm bad with names, and I didn't look. I just thought that he was just another good actor. And I thought, man, is he doing a Wesley Snipes impersonation? And I'm like, yeah, like half of his chromosomes, yeah, it is. Half of his DNA is doing a damn Denzel Washington. I keep wanting to say Wesley Snipes, Denzel Washington. Yeah, half of his DNA is always, even when he's asleep, he's just, I'm King Kong right here. Ain't got shit on me. That's his dad. I didn't realize that. I was like, okay, but do you have that acting gene? It's there. It's there. The question is this: how long did it take for Denzel Washington to be nominated for an Oscar with Spike Lee? Before isn't this his first major film? Is he gonna be breaking milestones and reaching heights that his dad didn't even? Not just with Spike Lee films, but just in general and acting in general. Will when Denzel retires, will his son take the mantle of the Washington family? That's the question. That's what's going on right here. But my major question right now, that's a side note. Maybe we can make that into a certain thing later on. Will Spike Lee ever win one? He's been nominated 3 other times. Will he ever win one? People argue that with Malcolm X, he should have won it. He was robbed for that one. I probably. Should BlacKkKlansman win it though? Over. Yeah, you got 2 situations. Now let's talk about that impact thing again. Now I'm not taking anything away from any other films, and this is not the the Black movies show on T3 Media. That's not what I'm doing here. But let's do that for a second. So will the Academy Award go to Spike Lee? What will people say? Trolls will come out of the woodworks. It's an apology award, like they did for Denzel. They gave it to him for Training Day because they knew they should have gave it to him for Malcolm X, and that's what they're doing right here. We just was waiting for Spike Lee to make a movie good enough where we can give an apology award for not giving him his award for Malcolm X. I don't know what the powers that be in there. And, you know, the conspiracy trolls are going to say whatever they're going to say. Now that the Oscars is ran by a black woman, now it's going to be women in. They're going to be black people in. It's going to be Denzel Washington and Flavor Flav. It's just not what it used to be. You know, people going to say what they're going to say. But what if? You never know. If you're not a fly on that wall, you don't know what those people are conspiring to. We gonna make some changes around this. We gonna give it to Denzel. We gonna make sure Malcolm X gonna get in the honorary. We gonna make sure we gonna make Martin Luther King Day every day. You know, well, you don't know, man. You never know, man. It could be happening, but I doubt it. It's too many people involved to keep that a secret to me. So what do? You just vote the way you were going to vote. You just vote with your integrity in place. Don't give an award to somebody in 2018 because you were trying to apologize for something that happened in 1990 something or whatever, right? And I'm not saying that that's what's happening. If Spike Lee wins Best Director or if this gets Best Picture, whatever the situation is, then I feel like he would deserve it. If not this film. Because this was a very well-directed movie. I mean, the way it was put together was freaking crazy good. Now, I'm rooting for him because he hasn't won one yet. But I'm not going to be mad if he got nominated. You know, this is his fourth nomination or third nomination. I mean, you're an Academy Award-nominated director. But I'm going to be watching to see if he's going to get that award. Because I feel like, as far as direction-wise, I think he did the best job compared to some of the other ones that I did see. But at the same time, I won't be too mad if it goes to the other ones because, they did outstanding jobs as well. So we'll just see. Will the ghetto media get out there? And the second it's going to go to Steven Spielberg, and all of a sudden you hear in the background, World Star, and then some shit happens. Oh, I don't know, but we'll see. But the last question that I had for today, and that's keeping on the theme with black movies and black folks being involved with everything in the Oscars this year, is Lady Gaga. No, she's not the one I'm talking about. But I feel like Lady Gaga really tried to disassociate herself from R. Kelly at the last minute. The second that R. Kelly thing started popping up again, like, dude, we gonna get you, dude. We gonna get you. You did not get away with nothing, man. That Chappelle, I'm gonna piss on you video just reminded me we have never got you. We gonna get you. We gonna get you. When the powers that be want you, and look what happened to OJ. Like, man, we gonna get you. Wait till you meet me. Wait till we get one little opportunity, and we got you. They do. That's what they're doing to R. Kelly, man. Like, you thought you got away with that shit? No, dude, we coming for you, dude. You know what movement we in right now? It's over for you, son. And Lady Gaga, I saw that. She did that nice thing in 2013. Look, I'm working with him again. He's Robert Kelly. Let's do this sexy song. Left the nights, Saturday Night Live, and that's Lady Gaga grinding on a, She's not my type, not because she's white, but because she's like 30-something. Anyway. So, Lady Gaga worked with him again on Saturday Night Live, and everybody was like, oh, okay, let's forgive him, let's moving on. But the people behind the scenes, no. I ain't moving on from nothing. They waited. They timed it perfectly. Got that document, everything. And then all of a sudden the show came out. And then, oh, yeah. And then all of a sudden the district attorney was like, oh, yeah, I forgot. I never arrested R. Kelly. Let me get that. Well, let's go. Let's get him. Let's do this. World Star. And they go after him again. And I don't think he's going to slip this time, bro. You are going down. I'm sorry, man. You are going down. You saw what happened to Bill Cosby. You knew they was coming for you. He's like, lock the doors. Lock that door. Girl, go lock that door. Got the alleged cult. I got to say alleged because he going to sue. I wish you would sue me. I wish you would sue a dude that got nothing. With your stingy, you like, and I would go right there in court, right in front of you, playing your music. So, Your Honor, what does keys to ignition mean? You tell me. I didn't sign that wedding certificate with a 15-year-old Leah. He did. Why am I here? Well, I wish you would sue me, R. Kelly. But I think that's what Lady Gaga did. She was like, her people were like her manager and stuff were like, dude, you can win an Oscar, man. There's a lot of buzz going around. People asking about that R. Kelly thing. Don't say nothing. You notice that everything Lady Gaga does, she tries to make it the most heartfelt thing. And I know it's genuine. It's coming from the heart, but she's trying like really hard to make it the best speech in the world and cry and listen to my music and remember the music and remember my poker face and all that stuff. Remember that? Like, yeah, but what didn't you say like something cool about R. Kelly? We should move on and stuff. And now what you say to the alleged victims and this and that stuff. But don't you remember my poker face? Let's talk about Madonna again. You know, that's what I feel like she doing. Like, remember when I was stealing songs from Madonna? Let's talk about that, right? It's like no. R. Kelly's in the news now, and you were there. We're in Saturday Night Live. What's going on with that? And she's like, I just made a movie. Hey guys, come on, let's stop that. Wait till after the Oscars. Let's just see, you know. She's waiting for the storm to just to fly over. She's waiting for that, you know. Usually, like she's in the bunker right now in the storm. She's in the eye of the storm, and it's like usually I don't do this, but let's just wait for the remix. And I'm not trying to be rude, girl. You no. And the second it blows over, and maybe she gets the Oscar, maybe she doesn't. But after it's all over, I think after the Oscars, I think you'll start seeing her on social media a little bit more. She might comment after the Oscars, but she ain't gonna say a damn thing before it. Like. I just think it's funny. I think it's hilarious. But I mean, just like the whole thing with Leslie Jones. Like I said earlier, I don't know if I've mentioned it before, but the reason why you see Leslie Jones on there is not because I'm gonna record a whole thing with Leslie Jones and the 2036 Origin Unknown thing. It's gonna be a separate video. But when I talked about the whole Leslie Jones thing, I also like I said, I wrote a blog about it. So, and I want you to go check it out because I want people to really keep this conversation going. Because I'm gonna play devil's advocate a little bit more on the We Got Your Mail segment on it because I think it needs to be talked about. I can be like, on my reaction, I was like, I love your work. But what you did was effed up. And I feel like that's a cool way to look at it. People go out of their way just to be like, oh, we talking about Leslie Jones again? Let's talk about her looks. Let's talk about this. I think she's a da-da-da-da. Bunch of stuff that if somebody would say to your mama or your sister, you would have a heart attack. Oh, but it doesn't matter to me because I don't know her personally. And I want to get all this out that I've been wanting to say out and put it out there on the internet. This is how people are. And that's the sad thing to me. So Leslie Jones, now she's trying to backpedal what she did. And I'm going to tell you, there is a mistake that she made. She tried to get the other girls in the Ghostbusters in 2016 involved. And I said it before. Why would you hate on anything else on the Ghostbusters thing, especially, like if it was in the same universe as your film was, then you'd have an argument. None of the original Ghostbusters who did contribute to your film said anything negative about yours. Why would you, did you think that there should never ever be a continuation to that timeline? And that was the part that pissed a lot of people off. Like, you were mad that people were trying to throw a wrench in the works on your work just because you were a girl. And that's going to lead up to the next question. Right before, just because you were a girl, right before the movie even came out. Why would you do the same thing? Why did you do the exact same thing? The thing that you were so mad about. You don't own the property. You were work for hire. You did your job. And then it was time to see the results come out. It didn't work out. Period. Now, so stop. Don't try to drag McCarthy and all these other people in. But what people like Mecca Random 42 said about them, calling her like the C word or co-star instead of a co-star, co-C word and stuff like that. I'm like, out of your passion. And here's the thing that I had a problem with. There's a reason why I went after Mecca Random 42 on my blog, because I felt like the way she did it was the way Megyn Kelly tried to excuse the whole thing that she said about blackface. I could tell in her heart that she really meant what she said, and she was really confused. Like, that's what we did. Yeah, but that doesn't mean it was right. You just didn't have any people in your circle, whether it was your fault or not, or just the way it was, to tell you that that was wrong. So you didn't care. You weren't thinking about empathizing with anybody's feelings on that. I know it's kind of, you know it's racist to do that, Megyn Kelly I'm talking to. And you wouldn't do it in front of a bunch of black people. But because you did it in front of a bunch of white people who allowed it, you thought it was okay. It was just okay for that group. But there's more people that lives outside your scope of reality. So why do I bring that up when it came to Mecca Random 42 and what she said about Leslie Jones and why I wrote the blogs post that I wrote? Because of the way she tried to do the exact same thing that Megyn Kelly did. I'm not saying that Mecca Random 42 is racist or anything like that at all. So that's not the equation that I'm making. This is the equation that I'm making. The constant cookie giving to yourself. When she said on her video, I didn't, at least I didn't say, after saying this, calling her the C word, the B word, and all this stuff, and even after I said that, you don't have to support her just because she's a girl and you're a girl. That's not what I'm saying. But you went straight sexist with it. That C word, this, that B word, that. And I was like, if I would have said that stuff, I would be getting Me Too. If I had a certain number of followers, I'd be getting Me Too so hard right now. But are you getting a pass because you're a girl? Maybe. You have a way bigger following than I do. And then after that rant, you go, hey, at least I didn't say anything racist about her. I was like, why did you even say that? Because in the mindset, in the paranoid mind of a lot of people, and I'm a conspiracy guy sometimes too, you say that to a black person. And you know what they're going to hear? But what did you say after the cameras turned off? What did you say before the cameras turned on? It's like you went out of your way to say, I'm not saying nothing racist right now. Did you say something racist before the cameras turned on? Maybe you didn't. But it's weird that you would try to throw yourself a cookie that way. And I'm gonna play devil's advocate. I'm gonna give a pay. I'm not hitting on it on a race level. I'm not saying anything about Mecca Random 42 on a race level. The optics of it, your passion was so out there it was very refreshing to see it, because I love the fact that you were such a hardcore Ghostbusters fan. That was the beautiful thing. I loved it. But here's what really happened, guys. She was saying the C word and the B word, probably realized that she was saying it a little too much. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe that's just how she is, and maybe that's how she talks. But maybe it felt like at a moment she was like, I think I said that word one too many times. Let me do some house cleaning real quick. I didn't say anything racist, y'all. I mean, it was just weird. It was a weird thing to do, man. I just didn't know how to. It irked me to a point where I had to write about it, and I did. So I just feel like now it's time to Leslie Jones. She made her bed. I think Hollywood is going to react to her. I'm talking about on a professional level. She's gonna have to hold on to Saturday Night Live as long as she can to do some major butt kissing now, because people ain't gonna forget that. You're the type of person who wants to get in our movie and then bash our movie afterward. If I was that executive producer to make that movie, I could argue with, how do we know that the reason why this movie failed was because of you? Why are you over here bashing everybody else and trying to get everybody to join your fight right now? What if I could go back in time, recast you, or take you out of it totally completely, and put Chris Hemsworth in your role or whatever, and play your character, and it would have made $1 billion. I could prove that and show that. I mean, hindsight is 20/20, and you can't go back in time. But if that could have been possible, your feelings would have got hurt, boo-boo. So there was no point of doing that. You don't know. You were also a contributing variable to why the movie did not succeed. So why do what you did? It just didn't make any sense. It was just dumb. And now you gonna sit. Now you sitting there with your publicist, probably gonna double down like most people that I know with that strong of a spirit and mentality. Oh, okay, well, fuck you too. Fuck you too. Okay, well, all right. Well, let's see. All right. Well. And then you're gonna have something else to complain about in 5 years when those roles and those gigs ain't coming. You better hurry up and become the queen of comedy. You better hurry up and do something now, because I'm telling you, this is not the sword to die on. What you did before, the whole bombing back on bullies and trolls and stuff like that, that was better. Go back to fighting that fight. This was not the one you should have did it on. No way. You got too ahead of yourself, and you was feeling yourself a little bit too much. But at the same time, coming back to make a random 42, I feel like you caught yourself too fast. You were like, no, I went too far with that. And I was like, oh, let me see how I can dial it back. And at least I didn't say anything racist about her. Don't give yourself a cookie after you done something messed up too. That's what Leslie Jones is about to do now. That's what Megyn Kelly did. And that's kind of what you did. So that's why I wrote my article about it. So, and that's all I'm going to say about that. And that's all I'm going to say about it. So, all right, without further ado, let's move on to the question of the day. So remember, guys, go to T3Medias.com. You can see right here on this channel. If you want to send me a piece of mail, send it to mail@T3Medias.com. I'm going to answer the question right here on the show when I do it live. If you can also send it to any of our social media at T3Medias, I would appreciate it. I'll also comment and respond to it and do it live. Like I said, I got a whole book full of stuff, and I'm going to have to make a whole separate show about that. But right now, I'm just going to do this one. And let's see, it comes from, let's see if I can make this happen here. This question, let me fade it in. Check this fade out. This question comes from Mike Shea. Mike Shea, he emails, what do you think about the upcoming Men in Black movie? Do you think it's unnecessary? And how do you feel about Hollywood redoing every idea they ever did with a female or ethnic cast? Well, I'm glad you asked me this question, because I am the perfect person to answer it, because I'm so super qualified as a female. I am as a feminist, right? Well, I guess the first part of your question about Men in Black. Is it necessary? I mean, no movie is necessary, right? I mean, how do I feel about the upcoming Men in Black? Do you think it's unnecessary? Every movie is unnecessary. There's no necessity to any film, right? You know, it's not water, it's not food. You can't drink it, you can't eat it. You don't need it to live. But is it necessary? I mean, for the franchise, yeah. For the franchise, yes. This was a good way to go, because, you know, Will Smith and all that stuff, it was just done. It's over with. Nobody's watching that. Nobody cares. I think the last Men in Black movie did worse than the other two. You got Hemsworth in there, Liam Neeson's. I'm sorry, I forgot her name. But the lady who was in the third Thor movie, they have good chemistry with each other. So I'm not, and they're funny together too. Have you seen what they do on social media? I think this is for the Men in Black, for Sony, for the Men in Black franchise. Yes, this could rejuvenize the whole thing. This could be a whole new trilogy on our hands. And it would be cool to see if they do get people, since it's in a whole different continent, from the British point of view of the Men in Black. The chances of Will Smith making a cameo and whatnot is pretty good. I think it is very necessary for the franchise. I think there's an audience for it, and I think the movie will do well. How will it do well enough to keep it going? I don't know, but I think it'll do okay. What do I think about Hollywood redoing all of their ideas? I mean, that's what Hollywood does. They've never. That's not a new thing. They've never stopped doing that. We've had sequels. I mean, it's Terminator, and then there's Terminator 2. The Godfather is Godfather 2, Godfather 3. They go back and they do sequels all the time. I mean, going back and redoing. But right now, there's a 90s nostalgia and an 80s nostalgia kick thing going on right now. The people who grew up in those eras, they're my age now. We're buying movie tickets, and we're more involved with social media and stuff. And we have, you know, when we want to be reminded of Thundercats. McNavoy for Thundercats. So I mentioned this on another show. Hollywood follows trends. They keep their eyes open and their ears open for trends. They'll follow what's going on. They don't care about your movements and morals or anything like that. They don't give a damn about that stuff. They want to know what's going to make money. And people are going back into the 90s and the 80s and doing something that's been done before. And they want to see it done again. Like Disney. Here's a perfect example of what you're talking about. Disney is redoing all of their old classics. Why? Because ever since Toy Story and 3D animation became so huge, kids today, they 9 times out of 10, unless you force them to watch them from birth and don't let them see all the new stuff yet, you start a kid off today watching a current Pixar animated movie, now try to get them to watch Bambi. Try to get them to watch The Jungle Book. It's not in high definition. It's not. They're not going to watch it. I mean, they will if they have to. I mean, my kids caught the Lion King, the original Lion King, on the Disney Channel, but it was 75% done. They were at the end of it, and they watched it. They finished watching it. Some of the movies can grab their attention depending on how well they were done. But we're talking about the '90s, though. Animation was getting up there, to the standards that we still currently watching them today. I won't be able to get them to watch Dumbo or Bambi or any of these things, so you reintroduce them to it in the style and the format that they're used to now, and it's making money. That's what it's all about. It's proving that it's making that money. And then when the kids today become 20, 30-year-old and parents of their own, they're gonna go, they might check out the original. Maybe they will, maybe they won't, or maybe these will become the new standard classics for them. But a lot of them will go back and watch it. They'll catch it on the Disney Channel or the streaming service in the future, whatever it is, and they'll be like, oh yeah, I didn't know Dumbo looked like that, and then they'll watch it. That's why. It's all about, it's like that saying, life is a wheel. Pretty much, sooner or later, things always come around. If the original Dumbo is on the bottom on the bottom and the new Dumbo is on the top, and that wheel starts spinning in the minds of the audience, sooner or later, people will go back and go watch the original. Oh, let me compare it to the original. Let me compare the original Aladdin to this new updated one. Let me compare this. Let me compare that and stuff. People do it. People do it. There's a formula and a reason and rhyme behind all this stuff. But the ultimate reason is because it makes money. And what do I think about the fact that they'll take a franchise and they'll throw a girl in there? Why not? What do you think about the fact that Will Smith was almost cast to be Superman? What do you think about the fact that, besides the fact that everybody in the world would lose their damn mind, like, stop trying to make every white guy a black guy and just make the black guy this other guy. They're going to do it. Why do they do it? Because they're testing the water. They don't know if it's going to work or not. Scarface is a remake of an original movie. If it would have flopped, it would have flopped. But people consider it a classic. If the whole we shouldn't reboot anything thing was a thing, we never would have had that. So just give it a chance. Because if it gets made, it doesn't take away of anything that was made before. If it's great, if it's the best thing that's ever, then you can combine it with, look at the source material. It makes everything, it puts light on everything. And I think that's a good thing. Should they make everything from a classical time from this age and then throw a girl in there just for the sake of going a girl? Maybe it shouldn't be. If you really want things to be equal and whatnot, stop trying to flip it. Or we're remaking a movie that was all boys club back in the 90s or the 80s or the 70s and stuff, and to correct that, we're going to make it an all girls club. Maybe that is the wrong mentality of it, but it might have worked, the 2016 thing I'm talking about. But now that we've seen that it does and does not work, and now moving forward, why not have a female Ghostbuster join the group? They've already done this before. I talked about it before. I think that the new Ghostbusters will take cues from Ghostbusters Extreme. The new generation of Ghostbusters, the Proton Pack was handed down like a baton to a new group of Ghostbusters. And there was a girl in the team. Why not? I ain't gonna lie. Even if I'm as a male, even if I was a male chauvinist, I don't want to be what do we call it? This is a damn sausage party, man. This is a sausage fest, man. No chicks here. Like, why would you want to live in a world where there's no girls around? Right? Like, I mean, I'm not saying so you can do something stupid and get your butt arrested and whatnot. But you know, you go, hey, you know, she's real pretty. Let me see. Hey, would you like to go out on a date? Nope. It's strictly professional work relationship. Okay, I'm sorry. You're going to HR. Oh man, guys will still risk it because you know guys want to. Some girls like guys and some guys like girls. I mean, that's what I'm saying. But I have a daughter, man, and I tell her all the time, you're smart and you're strong and you're brave and you're tough. She doesn't see herself as being weak compared to her brothers. I tell my sons to protect your sister and have her back, but I say the same thing to my daughter: protect your brothers and have their back. You know, we look out for each other. I don't think there's anything wrong with putting any of the girls on the team. Why not? If that fireman that's a lady that's on the if you're a fireman, you got caught in the room and an explosion came down and whatnot, and she came through, burst through the window with the water hose and saved you real quick and whatnot. You gonna complain? No, man, I want the guy to come in here. No, you ain't gonna complain. What you gonna say? No, man, bring the dudes in here. No, dude. Thank you. I mean, you never know. So let's see how it plays out. All I want is a good actor and a good film. That's all I ask for. I don't care who gets cast on it. Now, like, should a woman be cast for the Martin Luther King film? No. I mean, no. But we're talking about Ghostbusters, and I saw a comment before that said something like something about how I'm about to get ahead of myself. You'll see on the next We Got Your Mail when I talk about this stuff with the Ghostbusters thing. There's some pretty interesting words that people have for these movies and for putting women in and replacing the men and things like that. So that's my opinion on it. I don't really care. I just say, give me a good movie with some good actors and a good story, and let's have a good time, baby. That's all I say. So, till next time, guys. Hey, let me know what you guys think. Remember, hit the like and subscribe button. Become a subscriber if you haven't already become a subscriber. Remember, we like to talk about movies. We like to talk about TVs. We like to talk about a little about a lot of things. But what we definitely do is we'll talk about anything under the sun that you want to talk about, because there's nothing new under the sun. And anything that your date will let you do has been done before you got there. Where line did that come from? I got a question for you before we end this off. What do you think? Let's keep talking about these things. Do you think that Black Panther deserves this Oscar nomination for Best Picture? And what other movies did you like better than Black Panther for Best Picture, comic book wise? Those are the two questions I got for you. So, like I said, till next time, guys. Hey, appreciate it.